Welcome back to the Stash. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. And in this video, we're going over the amazing Spider-Man Gang War First Strike. This comic is the real start of this 30-part story Zeb Wells is doing called Gang War, which is just so original. But before we get into the video, we are so close to 650 subscribers. I genuinely can't believe I'm saying that. I can't thank you all enough for the support you've given me over the course of a year. And so with that being said, let's get straight into the video. So here is a quick recap of previous events in case you've missed the past issues. The wedding of Peter Parker's best friend Randy Robertson and Janice Lincoln, aka the Beetle, was meant to be the event of the season, but it quickly turned into a tragedy. The wedding was crashed by Shotgun, who managed to gun down Janice's father, Tombstone, despite his bulletproof skin. In the ensuing chaos, Hammerhead took out Madame Masque, with all the other crime bosses of New York City none the wiser. In the days since, Randy and Janice haven't reconciled, and Janice is staying by her father's side in the hospital while Randy has poured himself into activism, working with Mayor Luke Cage to repeal Fisk law which outlaws superheroes in New York City. Randy also tried to convince Spider-Man to join him, but with no success. With Madame Masque taken out and Tombstone in a coma, the delicate balance of power in New York's criminal underworld is at risk, and the smallest spark could light the flames of an all-out war. Now our story begins with a meeting with all the mob bosses just basically complaining. Tensions are high and everyone is sort of just ready to burst into their gang war mode. If I'm being honest though, this entire scene just feels like Zeb Wells played Mafia 3 over the weekend and thought, yeah, I can do that. Janice, aka Tombstone's daughter, aka Lady Beetle, makes a big entrance which was just painful, and the GOAT Hammerhead challenges her seat at the table by ordering her to kill Randy Robertson, who's been a thorn in everyone's side recently. And just in case you forgot whose book this was, we switch scenes to see Spider-Man struggling to capture Slide. Are you f***ing serious? You can't even beat Slide now? How pathetic are you? First Tombstone, then Vulture, then Aunt Anna, and now Slide? There's probably way more villains he's failed to beat in this volume, but it's just been oh so forgettable. Anyway, Miles is here, so there you go, Miles fans. Damn, so Peter now needs Miles to capture Slide for him? How are you this bad at your job? If Peter can't even defeat Slide, what the fuck is he gonna do when the Green Goblin comes back? Wait a second, I'm confused. Miles is complaining that he had to be Spider-Man for 6 months by himself? Do you guys understand how challenging it is to write about these comics sometimes? Zeb Wells, in the space of like 2 pages, made Peter an underpowered man-child, which isn't new by the way, and Miles an arrogant asshole who complains about having to do his job. Also, is this like Zeb saying he's aware of how out of character he's written Peter for the last year or so? I would like to think that this would lead to change in writing, but the odds of that are about as high as Spider-Man 2 winning any game awards this year. Anyway, Randy's protest is gaining traction because we haven't seen enough protesting lately, have we? I mean, comics are meant to be an escape from reality. This is not an escape. Hammerhead the GOAT knew Janice didn't have it in her to kill Randy, so we had a backup plan, which was just to Sonny Corleone's ass. The whole sequence has left Randy in a very critical state, with the feud of the Lincolns and the Robertsons being at an all-time high. And now, as someone who actually likes Hammerhead, this next part is just a massive spit in the face. The lady he's been seeing whacks him.
Look how they mask with my boy.
Turns out that Madame Masque didn't really die, and the person who did was just hired to take her place. So now she has the ultimate deck going into the gang war. Speaking of, the gang war is now in full effect with chaos all around New York. Spider-Man tells Cage he needs a team of heroes as he sets out to reclaim his city. So this issue comes to an end, however, it is only the beginning of this painful story. Okay, where do I begin? I'm sick and tired of this dog, Zeb Wells, writing the books. He's made it very clear and very obvious that he simply doesn't like Peter Parker at all. In fact, it's insanely clear that he hates Spider-Man. In his run, Peter's been hospitalized, lost the love of his life, beaten half to death on multiple occasions, set up by Tombstone, watched one of his best friends nearly marry a supervillain, dumped by Felicia Hardy, brainwashed by Norman Osborn's sins, insulted by his friends and peers, and he is constantly being spoken down to. I have no idea how this could ever be fun to read or how Marvel is even satisfied with what's being produced. Also, another plot hole I picked up, but please correct me if I'm wrong. When did Peter go away for 6 months? Are they talking about the 6-month time skip from the beginning of Wells' run? If so, then Peter was barely missing. He was only trapped in Paul's dimension for like a few days max. I swear it was MJ who was gone for a long time. I know my brain's blocked out majority of this shit, but I could have sworn that this was the case. But say I'm wrong, just in case, and Peter was gone that whole time. Why is Miles only bringing this up now? They literally interacted with each other in Judgment Day tie-in from last year and everything was fine. It's not like there was a different writer just making a continuity error. Zeb Wells wrote that story too. Nick Lau must be too busy telling fans how stupid they are and how right he is, because how the hell do you let a continuity error that obvious slip through the cracks? Also, the fact that Miles of all people needs to give Peter a talk about how to be Spider-Man is absolutely pathetic. The character assassination of Marvel's greatest, most popular character is such an embarrassment, and it can all be pinned on Wells and Lowe. I have zero idea why modern day media love hiring these weirdos who not only know nothing about the character, but also have a severe hatred for said character. The Gang War series starts out with a whimper with no surprises there, and I fail to see why I should give a shit about this entire story. The dynamics between the crime bosses have been seriously underdeveloped, and Wells should have just been more focused on telling stories about these characters if he wants us to care about this event. But he spent the better part of last year with the most pointless things like killing Miss Marvel for no reason or Wreck Rap as a whole, and don't even get me started on Mephisto reincarnated Paul. It's actually becoming impressive of how bad of a duo Lowe and Zeb are. This has got to be the absolute worst Spider-Man series in history, and I'm tired of seeing certain brain-dead people still giving Marvel money for this crap. Every time I've been on my local comic store, I feel some joy seeing dozens of copies of each issue that comes out of ASM just sitting there collecting dust. Hell, they even tried to make that one issue with where fake Miss Marvel dies sound better than it is by the addition of key issue in all caps underneath it. See what Marvel is doing to these poor stores? This used to be a company which thrived of telling good stories and listening to their fans. Now, that sadly feels lost forever. But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because here, any support means so much. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this issue down below in the comments section. We can start a conversation. And be sure to tune in next time for more Spider-Man content on the way. Same web time, same web channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and see you in the next one.